All right, welcome back. I'm still Bill Tucker, and my co-host is still Tom Borelli for the hour. If you folks want to weigh in on these conversations we're having, we'll take your call at 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-639-7629. This next topic gets me really upset and gets me kind of angry. There was a controversy surrounding President Trump's phone call to a widow of one of our soldiers killed in Niger. Florida Congresswoman Frederica Wilson says that she was there for this phone call and is being openly critical of Trump for being insensitive. At today's news briefing, Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders took a number of questions, as you might expect, on this topic, and this is how she responded to questions on issues today at the press briefing.
The president stated the hardest job he has is making calls like that. I think it is appalling what the Congresswoman has done and the way that she's politicized this issue and the way that she is trying to make this about something that it isn't. This was a president who loves our country very much, who has the greatest level of respect for men and women in the uniform, and wanted to call and offer condolences to the family. And I think to try to create something from that the Congresswoman is doing is frankly appalling and disgusting.
All right. Our guest now is former police commissioner in New York City, Bernie Kerik. He's a former interim minister of the Interior for Iraq. He's a former senior policy advisor to the U.S. presidential envoy to Iraq. He is author of the book Jailer to Jailed, My Journey from Correction and Police Commissioner to Inmate. 84888-054. Bernie, welcome.
Thank you.
The impetus for inviting you on is a note that you sent out this morning, and you could not have possibly been more passionate, and I could not possibly say amen loud enough to what you had to write. So why don't you share with those who didn't have the chance to read your note what your thoughts are on all of this?
Well, I wrote what Sarah put out this afternoon. It's appalling. It's disgusting. And the one thing she didn't say, and many people may not know, that in the last year, even before the president was the president, he has called close to a dozen police officers' families in this country, and probably more military families in this country, over the last 12 months, even before he was president, to offer condolences, to offer his assistance, his support. And not one time have we heard any insanity like this representative from Florida spewed yesterday. And when I heard the conversation, or what she claimed was the conversation that the president had with the family, you know, this young man, this soldier, he knew what he was signing up for. And I wrote this in my Facebook post last night. You know how many times I've said that to families of those that have fallen under me? I lost 23 people on September 11, 2001, when the World Trade Center imploded. And I have to tell you, I've said that to every family. These men and women in the NYPD that died, they knew the perils inherent with the job they were performing. They knew the dangers, and yet they did it anyway. It was a compliment to their courage, to their bravery, to their honor. And that's exactly, if those are the words that the president used, I'm 100% positive that's what he meant. But to take his comments and basically politicize this, you know, who called CNN? My head was going to explode last night when I saw the report by Don Lemon. I thought it was disgusting. I thought CNN politicizing this and pursuing it was insane. I just think it's disgusting. The hatred for the president by the left is something that, you know, we're going to have to deal with. But to politicize and exploit the death of an American soldier and to exploit the grief by his widow and family is just beyond it. As I said last night, it's so repugnant that it defies description.
Bernie, thank you so much for that context, because I think that's missing so much in today's political discussion is the context of the situation, what normally happens during these conversations, and clearly we weren't there. But obviously President Trump took the time to make a call. So obviously he was trying to convey his deep condolences. But I guess I have to go back to really a part you also said, let's put some blame on the media, because this Representative Wilson, she knew she would find a sympathetic voice and a way to get on TV and a way to blast Trump in the media, because that's the whole media now, large part of it is out to get President Trump. With context again in mind, with your experience in a meeting going back to 2001, your experiences, how has the media changed?
Well, the media should look at what happened last night. And here's the thing, the media twist. As I said, President Trump has spoken to probably more than a dozen cops' families and probably even more military families in the last year. Nobody ran to the media. One person goes to the media on a circumstance like this, on an issue like this, and it completely gets blown out of proportion. And as I said, I watched the Don Lemon interview last night. It made me sick. How he was pursuing this, how he was, trying to suck this, negativity out of this representative. She should be ashamed of herself, as should he.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It really is, and nobody is going to deny this woman her grief. She lost her husband. She lost the father of her child, and that is sacred in itself. And this congresswoman is using that woman every bit as much as she thinks she's disgracing this president. So it's a sad. Unfortunately, there's nothing good in this story. There's nothing good in this statistic I'm going to ask you about either. Bernie, in the last week here, we've learned FBI released a report. 118 policemen died in the line of duty last year. Your thoughts and reactions on that?
Listen, you know what? They knew what they were signing up for. And unfortunately, that's, and I can say that because I've done the job, one, and two, my son is a cop in Newark, New Jersey. He's a detective in Newark, New Jersey. He's assigned to the FBI Terrorist Task Force, and today he's actually in Puerto Rico. He's been down there for 2 weeks now. I know the perils inherent with the job. I know the dangers that come with the job. But these men and women in this country go out every day and put on that shield and put on the gun and go out and do the job that they know they may not come home. When they don't come home, it's a tragedy for the family. It's a tragedy for this country. And, I think many times they're just unappreciated. They should be appreciated far more than they are, especially in this day and age when you have NFL players, taking a knee, in a football game. I just think, I don't know what's happened in this country, but at some point, I wish it would just turn around.
One of the numbers that I found really disturbing in that FBI data that was assembled for 2016 was the fact that 17 of the 118 police officers died in ambushes, which was up.
Well, that number, honestly, guys, that number has increased.
Right.
That's probably about 150 to 200% increase over the prior few years.
Yeah.
It's a substantial number, and that's a part of the real danger of the job being out there today, where, it used to be confrontational. You had a run-in with somebody that had a gun and there was a gun battle. Now you have people walking up, two cops sitting in a pizzeria having lunch, and somebody walks up and blows their brains out. We live in a very different time now. Look at what happened in Dallas, 5 cops in Dallas. Right. We live in a different time than we did 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm with you. I wake up every day thinking, well, maybe today it'll turn. Maybe today something's going to happen, and we're going to get this ship righted once again. And I certainly hope so. Bernie, as always, thanks for being a guest. Just going to tease the fact that Bernie's working on a book. We'll have some details as it comes out over time. Bernie, thanks for being here. Appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
All right, up next, conservative commentator and actress Jessica McClain. Don't go away. We'll be right back.